Really common in the Canadian workplace, and you'll even see people on the street, etc. Good morning, hello. Greeting people when you first see them is really important. It's a really important part of the workplace culture. Dealing with other employees, we say to have good working relationships. If you get into a tiff, you know, somebody kind of makes a comment or is being a little cold, the first time you can play it off to they're having a bad day. This is common in our culture. If it's happening again, the way that we like to address workplace conflict with coworkers is to have a one-on-one sit down. So to say, can I talk to you for a second? I noticed this, are we okay? And to have a one-on-one dialogue. So try to address it with the person first. Let the first one go, it might be a bad day. Second one, address it with the person, and if after you address it with the person you're unsuccessful, then you want to report it to your manager or to human resources or to somebody else. But the kind of conflict resolution amongst colleagues, we're colleagues, let's see if we can work it out together. Dealing with your boss, bosses are generally treated a little bit more formally. Some organizations are very formal. I would say most organizations are kind of semi-formal. You have to respect your boss, but it's not a Mr. So-and-so or a Mrs. So-and-so. This is really important to remember. Employers are prohibited from penalizing employees in any way for exercising their rights under the Employment Standards Act. You are protected to have these discussions if you find that your employer is in violation of any of these rules. Employer may pay your wages by 3 options: cash, check, or direct deposit. Keep in mind the direct deposit needs to be in your name. Is the minimum time that your employer can schedule you for is 3 hours. So if they call you in for a 5-hour shift, they have to pay me for a minimum of 3 hours. What happens is after you work 44 hours, your employer must pay you at least 1.5 times your regular rate of pay. Important. Safety at work is hugely important. It's really a big part of the Canadian workplace culture. Safety in the workplace is really fundamental. You can legally refuse to do work that you think might hurt you or another employee, and your boss does not have the ability to fire you or reprimand you for you refusing to work. There is a process. If this is engaged and you say, I refuse to work on that machine, I don't think it's safe, there is a process that's going to be followed, but you cannot get in trouble for refusing to work. The Ontario Human Rights Code says that every person has a right to equal treatment with respect to employment without discrimination. People are so open here. I'm part of a lunch club at work, and we have a very diverse group of like 15 people. We have Indian, we have Macedonian, we have Russian, we have Canadian, and any cultural differences, we just ask. What's the practice? What's polite? What's the way to approach this? Don't be afraid to ask.